For over a century, cars have been a part of our daily lives, and with that comes their inevitable crashes. The debate between classic cars built from solid metal and today's modern vehicles with crumple zones and advanced safety features still rages on. Today, we're diving into some of the most memorable crashes of old classic cars, exploring how they fared in wrecks compared to the safety of today's machines. Number 10. 1967 Jane Mansfield's Buick Electra crash. On June the 29th of 1967, actress Jane Mansfield tragically lost her life in a car crash while traveling in her 1966 Buick Electra. The accident happened on U.S. Route 90, just east of New Orleans, Louisiana. Mansfield was riding as a passenger in the vehicle, along with her boyfriend Sam Brody and the driver Ronnie Harrison. The car was on its way from Biloxi, Mississippi to New Orleans when it collided with the rear of a slower-moving tractor-trailer truck. The front of the Buick slid underneath the truck, resulting in a devastating crash. Mansfield, Brody, and Harrison all suffered fatal injuries and passed away at the scene. In the back seat of the car were Mansfield's 3 children, Mariska, Zoltan, and Mickey Jr., who survived the crash despite the severity of the collision. Tragically, Mansfield's dog did not survive the accident. This crash brought attention to the dangers of under-ride collisions, where smaller vehicles slide under larger ones. The widespread concern over these types of accidents led to the introduction of under-ride guards on tractor-trailers, which are designed to prevent similar tragedies. Improvements were also made to highway safety standards to reduce the likelihood of such collisions. Mansfield was only 34 when she passed away, leaving a lasting legacy in Hollywood. Her daughter, Mariska Hargitay, who survived the crash, later became famous for her role as Olivia Benson in the television series Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Number 9. 1956 Jackson Pollock's Oldsmobile convertible crash. On August the 11th of 1956, the famous abstract expressionist painter Jackson Pollock died in a tragic car accident in New York. He was driving his Oldsmobile convertible on Springs Fireplace Road in East Hampton when he lost control of the vehicle. Pollock was under the influence of alcohol at the time, which contributed to the crash. The car skidded off the road, struck a tree, and rolled over multiple times. Pollock was accompanied by 2 passengers, Edith Metzger and Ruth Kligman. Both Pollock and Metzger were killed instantly, while Kligman, who was thrown from the vehicle, survived but suffered serious injuries. Pollock's death at the age of 44 deeply shocked the art community. He was widely celebrated for his innovative drip painting technique, which had a profound impact on modern art. His unique approach to painting redefined artistic expression and established him as a central figure in the abstract expressionist movement. However, Pollock struggled with personal issues and alcoholism throughout his life, and these struggles ultimately played a role in the circumstances of his death. The crash site in East Hampton has since become a somber landmark for those who remember Pollock's legacy. His death marked a turning point in the world as it lost a visionary artist who would redefine the boundaries of creative expression. To honor his memory, a monument was later erected in Villa Blevin, serving as a reminder of Pollock's remarkable contributions to the art world and the tragic end to his life. Number 8. 1992 Sam Kennison's Pontiac crash. On April the 10th of 1992, comedian Sam Kennison met a tragic end in a car crash while driving his Pontiac Turbo Trans Am. Kennison, famous for his loud and unfiltered comedy, was traveling with his wife, Malika, to perform at a sold-out show at the Riverside Casino in Laughlin, Nevada. The crash occurred on Needles Highway, just northwest of Needles, California. A pickup truck driven by Troy Pearson, who was 17 years old, veered into Kennison's lane and struck his car head-on. Pearson, who had consumed alcohol before driving, lost control while attempting to overtake a vehicle. The collision was brutal, leaving Kennison gravely injured. He was not wearing a seatbelt, and the impact caused massive trauma to his head. Although his injuries initially seemed minor, Kennison passed away shortly after the crash. Kennison's final moments added an eerie poignancy to the event. Carl LaBove, his longtime friend and opening act, was present at the scene and cradled Kennison's head as he lay on the roadside. Witnesses described Kennison as appearing to speak, his voice carrying a haunting resonance in those final minutes. The violent crash ended the life of a comedian known for pushing boundaries, leaving fans and loved ones stunned by the suddenness and savagery of his loss. Number 7. 2001 Dale Earnhardt's Chevrolet Monte Carlo crash. On February the 18th of 2001, NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt died in a crash during the final lap of the Daytona 500. Earnhardt, piloting his famous black number 3 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, was trying to block competitors to help his teammates Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt Jr. take the top 2 spots. As he approached turn 4, his car collided with Sterling Marlin's vehicle, leading to a loss of control. The Monte Carlo then struck Ken Schrader's car before slamming headfirst into the retaining wall to blistering speed. The impact inflicted a catastrophic basilar skull fracture, causing instant death. Medical teams arrived rapidly, but were unable to save him. Earnhardt was officially declared deceased at the Halifax Medical Center shortly after the wreck. Millions of viewers worldwide watched the tragedy unfold live, leaving the racing community and fans in a state of shock and sorrow. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo he drove was an immensely powerful machine, meticulously engineered for optimal performance on the racetrack. It was equipped with a V8 engine designed to produce high speeds and featured advanced aerodynamic enhancements. The car's sleek black finish and number 3 symbol became deeply entrenched in NASCAR history and closely tied to Earnhardt's unparalleled racing reputation. His death led to a profound reevaluation of safety standards in motorsports, underscoring the brutal risks that came with the relentless pursuit of victory. Number 6. 2004 Helmut Newton's Cadillac crash. Helmut Newton, a famous fashion photographer from Germany, tragically passed away in a car accident in Los Angeles on January the 23rd of 2004 at the age of 83. Newton, who became well known for his bold black and white photographs, was driving his Cadillac on Marmount Lane, heading from the Chateau Marmount Hotel towards Sunset Boulevard, when he lost control of the vehicle. The car sped up suddenly and crashed into a wall directly across the street from the hotel. Newton was immediately rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but he passed away shortly after arriving. Although the exact cause of the crash was not fully determined, some of his friends believed he might have suffered a heart attack while driving. Helmut Newton was a prominent figure in the fashion photography world, especially recognized for his controversial and dramatic images. His works were often seen in renowned magazines like Vogue and Playboy. Newton's photography was characterized by its bold and provocative style, often shocking audiences with its raw, erotic nature. His images frequently featured tall models with long legs, high heels, and dark lipstick, set in luxurious, yet sometimes intimidating settings. Newton's photographs pushed the boundaries of fashion photography, creating visual narratives that challenged traditional ideas and often sparked debates about art and sexuality. Number 5. 1955 James Dean's Porsche 550 Spyder crash. On September the 30th of 1955, Hollywood legend James Dean tragically lost his life in a car accident while driving his Porsche 550 Spyder. The crash took place at the intersection of U.S. Route 466 and State Route 41 near Cholame, California. Dean was traveling to a race in Salinas, California at the time of the collision. He was reportedly driving at a speed of 85 miles per hour when a 23-year-old student from California Polytechnic State University, Donald Turnipseed, made a left turn into his path. Dean attempted to avoid hitting the other vehicle, but the Porsche struck the front of Turnipseed's Ford Tudor. The impact caused the Porsche to cartwheel and come to rest at the side of the road. James Dean suffered fatal injuries, including a broken neck and a fractured skull, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The events following the crash carried their own tragedies. The wrecked Porsche was sold by the insurance company and dismantled for parts. Key components, including the engine, transmission, and suspension, were reportedly used in other racing cars. Some of these vehicles were later involved in fatal accidents. The intersection where the collision occurred has since gained a reputation for being a high-risk area for accidents. To this day, the tragic story of James Dean's untimely death remains a reminder of the dangers of high-speed driving and has become an enduring part of Hollywood lore. Number 4. 1927 Isidora Duncan's Amilcar CGSS crash. On September the 14th of 1927, the world lost renowned American dancer Isidora Duncan in a tragic car in Nice, France. Duncan was celebrated for her free-spirited dance style and her iconic flowing scarves, which became synonymous with her artistic identity. On that fateful day, she was a passenger in her amel car CGSS when a sudden gust of wind caused her long scarf to wrap around her neck. The scarf became caught in the rear axle and the open-spoked wheels of the moving car. As the vehicle continued, the scarf tightened, pulling Duncan out of the car and fatally breaking her neck. She was rushed to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Duncan's innovative approach to dance focused on self-expression and individuality. She often performed barefoot, dressed in flowing scarves that symbolized her free-spirited persona. Her untimely death served as a stark reminder of the hazards tied to such expressive choices. Writer Gertrude Stein poignantly commented on the tragedy by stating, "Affectations can be dangerous." Duncan's life was filled with extraordinary achievements and significant challenges. She faced profound sorrow, including the heartbreaking loss of her 2 children in 1913, who tragically died in a car accident. Despite these unimaginable hardships, Duncan continued to captivate audiences with her groundbreaking contributions to the art of dance. Her legacy remains a testament to her resilience and creativity, influencing generations of performers and ensuring her place in history as an artist whose spirit transcended her tragic end. Number 3. 1960 Albert Camus Fossil Vega HK 500 crash. On January the 4th of 1960, Albert Camus, a Nobel Prize-winning author, died tragically in a car crash in France. He was a passenger in a Fossil Vega HK 500, a rare and luxurious French sports car, driven by his friend and publisher Michael Gallimard. The accident happened near the small town of Villeblevin while they were traveling back to Paris after a holiday in Provence. Poor road conditions led Gallimard to lose control of the vehicle, causing it to skid and collide with a plane tree. The crash was severe, and Camus died instantly. Gallimard sustained serious injuries and passed away a few days later. At the time of the crash, Camus had a train ticket in his pocket, as he initially planned to take the train, but opted to join Gallimard for the drive. The Fossil Vega HK 500, equipped with a powerful Chrysler Hemi engine, was celebrated for its elegant design and speed. However, the car's high performance, combined with its heavy weight, could make handling challenging, particularly on slippery roads. Camus, who was 46 years old, had once remarked that the most absurd way to die would be in a car crash, a sentiment that tragically became his reality. A monument now stands in Villeblevin to honor Camus, marking the location where his life ended. Number 2. 1997 Princess Diana's Mercedes-Benz S280 crash. On August the 31st of 1997, Diana, Princess of Wales, tragically died in a car accident in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris, France. She was traveling in a Mercedes-Benz W140 alongside her partner, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henry Paul. The crash occurred after Henry Paul, who was under the influence of alcohol and prescription drugs, lost control of the vehicle. The car was being followed at high speed by paparazzi and collided with a support pillar inside the tunnel. Diana, Fayed, and Henry Paul all sustained critical injuries in the crash. Henry Paul and Fayed were killed instantly, while Diana was taken to the hospital in Paris. Medical teams worked to save her, but she was pronounced dead at 4:53 a.m. due to severe internal injuries. Trevor Rees-Jones, Diana's bodyguard, was the only survivor, although he suffered serious injuries. A French investigation determined that Henry Paul was entirely responsible for the crash because of his impaired state. However, in 2008, a British coroner's inquest concluded that Diana and Fayed were unlawfully killed. This ruling placed blame on both the reckless actions of Henry Paul and the pursuing paparazzi. The tragedy shocked the world and raised widespread concerns about media ethics, safety, and accountability. The events surrounding the crash remain a significant and somber moment in history. Number 1. 1977 Mark Bolan's Mini 1275 GT crash. On September the 16th of 1977, Mark Bolan, the lead singer of the glam rock band T-Rex, tragically lost his life in a car crash in London. He was traveling as a passenger in a purple Mini 1275 GT, which was being driven by his girlfriend Gloria Jones. The crash took place in Barnes, a neighborhood in southwest London, during the early hours of the morning. Jones lost control of the vehicle, which swerved off the road and collided with a tree. Bolan, who was only 29 years old at the time, died instantly as a result of the impact. Earlier that evening, Bolan and Jones had been out celebrating at a restaurant located in Berkeley Square. The Mini, which had been manufactured nearly 5 years earlier, was well maintained and had recently undergone servicing. However, the collision proved devastating, abruptly ending Bolan's life. His death came as a shock to the music world and deeply affected his fans, who mourned the loss of a musician who had significantly influenced the glam rock movement. Mark Bolan was known for his flamboyant persona and memorable songs including Get It On and Children of the Revolution. His contributions to music and fashion left a lasting impact, and he became a cultural icon during the 1970s. Bolan's untimely death marked a profound loss for glam rock, but his legacy endures through his recordings and the memories of his devoted fans who continue to celebrate his life and work. As we've seen, old classic cars had their fair share of crashes, highlighting both their strengths and vulnerabilities. Do you think these vintage rides were safer than we give them credit for? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Crash Chronicles.